This is YBA Legacy, a game that I will not be playing today, for the reasons that will be stated. Welcome to today's video. I have gotten request upon request upon request to play this game, and I won't do it, because it's against pretty much literally I've ever stood for ever, so I'm not doing it. Now, a few things out of the way before we start talking about the game is number one, if any of the YBA staff members see this and want to ban me for promoting the game or whatever, because I've avoided making videos on games like this in the past under not really threat, but mostly an allusion to, like, if you make videos on this game, you will be in hot water. But I don't really give a shit about YBA anymore, so if they want to ban me, even though I'm pretty much being incredibly negative about this game, simply because I put some extra eyes on it and some people will inevitably play it, then go ahead and ban me. I really genuinely don't care. But anyways, moving on to the actual video, YBA Legacy. This shit is just entirely stolen. It seems like there's a lot of people out there that just aren't very understanding of how difficult it is to code games, never mind make a one-to-one copy of something that existed before. To put it bluntly, it's very, very difficult, and you would need either a group of incredibly talented individuals or the people who actually worked on the original work to actually do that. And because of that, it's very, very, very clear, based on watching any gameplay from YBA Legacy, that this is a stolen game. Whether it be stolen code, stolen assets, you name it. It's just stolen. The whole thing is stolen. Now, I don't know why people suddenly thought that maybe I would be okay with stolen games now, after I've made it clear time and time and time again that I'm actually not at all okay with people just blatantly stealing games. See Notoriety, which I talked about how it was completely stolen and was completely taken down. See YBA New Universe, which while I never made a video on, I've talked about on many occasions how I don't have any love for them over there because it's stolen. But suddenly with this game, people are like, Eclipse, come play this. It's the best game ever. It's literally what you played before. But somebody took it and they stole the whole thing. No! Now, granted, if I had just come on here and told you that and ended the video, I think it would be fair for me to get a mountain of criticism from people that don't really understand my perspective. So I'm gonna go into some of the arguments that I've got from people and explain exactly why I fundamentally disagree with them. And if you're either a child who's incapable of understanding those concepts, you're someone who's so incredibly spiteful towards the creators of YBA, which you're talking to one of those people, and I still don't accept this, then I also don't know what to tell you, and yeah, we're moving forward. Now, the first and most prevalent argument that I've consistently gotten is that this is a non-profit game. They're not making money off this game according to them. Just to make this clear, according to them, they're not making any money off of this game, so that means it's okay to just blatantly steal it. And a lot of people have made the comparison to modding other games and stuff like that, but that's something we'll be getting into in just a second. And, well, here's the problem with that whole we're not making any money off of it kind of thing. And that's that when premium users join the game, they get money. They make Robux. Like, they are objectively making money off of this game. So I've seen posts and statements and screenshots of them saying, we don't make money, we're not making any money, this is non-profit, which just at face value is BS, because they are absolutely making money. But here's the thing, even if this was a completely non-profit, free thing, they're still directly taking money from YBA. They're stealing money from YBA, and here's why. Because this is using YBA's assets and YBA's code under YBA's name, a game that currently exists. You can play it right now. This is a game that currently exists. It's not the same, it's been updated heavily, and some people are not happy about it, but regardless, it still exists. And people are playing YBA Legacy instead of YBA, which is otherwise taking money directly out of the pockets of the people who made this and voiding it. If it's going to a nonprofit, it's literally gone. But it does mean that that money is being directly stolen. It's not going to the YBA people who made these assets that are being stolen. A lot of people just, I guess, maybe they're not old enough, maybe they just don't care, I don't know, they're not capable of critical thinking, but they haven't considered the fact that if you're playing an older version of a game that currently exists that's been entirely stolen, you're not playing the other game, so they're not making any money. I don't think it's rocket science. Now we're moving over to the modding section. We're gonna talk about modding in games, how I'm supportive of that and how I'm not supportive of this. And I've always been an outspoken supporter of mods in games. I think it's really good for games, especially older games, to keep them relevant long after the developers have stopped working on them. And even for current games that are being worked on, modders can do an absolute wonder in order to keep games relevant. Now, that being said, the equation of modders to this, I don't know how people are making it. I have gotten that argument multiple times, which leads me to believe that maybe the people over on the YBA Legacy team have been spreading that as information. I can't tell you if that's true or not. It probably isn't. It's probably a coincidence. But the point being is that there's been a few people that have been telling me that this is basically just modding, and because they're not making any money off of it, it's no different than modding an old NES game, and YBA, the people behind it, are no different than Nintendo, who notoriously takes down mods. And this is like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But, well, let's just think about this for a second. Let's say you buy a game, you have paid for it, and there's a mod for that game. If you go and get that mod, you still bought the game. You've still already paid for this game. That's like if there was, I don't know, a mod for Deep Woken, but you needed to own Deep Woken to play it. Okay, well then nobody's losing any money. You already purchased the game. You don't purchase YBA. Maybe you buy things in it, but it's not like the things you buy in it are going to transfer over to this other game. And again, like I said earlier, if you're playing YBA Legacy, you're not playing YBA, which is losing the money anyway. So the fact that you're not buying any games and not giving any money towards the publishers or the people who made it to begin with makes this argument immediately fall apart. But that's if the game was a currently ongoing game. Now, granted, I think that this entire situation would be way, way different if YBA was not being developed anymore. It was completely shut down. The developers had finally abandoned it for their shitty Eternal Battlegrounds. I'm still not talking about that. And they've decided, all right, we're done with this, and that's that. And if at that point that the people that made YBA Legacy decided to make it, then it would be no skin off of anyone's back, because this game is not under development anymore. It's not being looked after by the people who made it. They don't care. So at that point, I would have a completely different lens. But the reality is that this is a currently developed and active game. You can't just steal code from someone's active game and then make it yourself. That's not how it works. Now, I think the real kicker here is that they never got permission to make this. I have it on pretty good authority. I don't have 100% proof, but I have it on pretty good authority that they did not ask permission to make this game. Now, granted, if they had asked permission, I can almost guarantee you that they would either have been ghosted completely or told, no, of course you can't steal our code and steal our money, because, that's the way businesses work. But regardless, the fact that they did all of this, presumably without asking permission, and then thought that they could get away with it by just saying, oh, we're non-profit, we don't make any money, so it's fine. No, it's not fine. It's not fine at all. You can't just steal people's stuff, and then, even if you're not posting it as yours, you've posted it on your profile, and you've still stolen it. You can't do that. This whole thing is almost tragic in a way. It's tragic in so many ways. But the two biggest ones are probably the fact that if they had gone out of their way to make this from scratch, which at this point I don't think that the people behind it have the talent nor drive to remake this entire game by scratch, and they'd rather just steal it. But regardless, if they had done that, then it would have been an incredibly cool homage to YBA. But they didn't choose that route. They chose to just steal it and then try to play victim as much as they can. And the other sad thing is that I have to be on here not only talking about YBA, but defending YBA. Are you fucking kidding me, guys? How did you get me here? This is the last thing I want to be doing. Did you not get the memo? I'm pissed off at them. Where have you been? I don't even want to talk about that game. I don't want to talk about their stupid Battlegrounds game. I feel disrespected and lied to and so many other things by YBA, and yet you have me on here defending them because you're incapable of realizing how stupid this is. Man. And we didn't want to be negative this year. Look what happened. Look what you're doing to me. Now, the very last thing that I'm just gonna sort of rush through is talking about the bans. People have been banned for playing the game. People have been banned for all different sorts of nonsense. It seemed like it had been made pretty clear by Paragon, but people still aren't getting the memo, and they're still spreading false information. So just to clear things up, and to be 100% clear, if you were in the YBA Legacy Discord server and the YBA Discord server, after a certain date, you would have been banned from the YBA Discord server for association with the game. Bans on the Discord do not equate to game bans, so you wouldn't have been banned for simply being in the game. If you've played the game, you're also not getting banned. If you're just some random Joe Schmo, you should not be getting banned from YBA for just playing YBA Legacy, although I would dissuade against it because, again, it's stolen. The people who have been banned from YBA after playing YBA Legacy are either content creators making videos that support the game, you know, like I'm about to be, or people who directly work on or contribute to the game, that kind of stuff. There's been this huge movement of idiots going around screaming, oh my god, they're banning people for playing this game, yada 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 yada, and that's not happening. I have it on good authority, that's not happening. Don't listen to those people unless you have irrefutable proof to the otherwise, which as of now has not been being spread around, so I just have to assume it's complete BS. Anyways, that's all. I don't have anything else to say here. This game's stolen. Please don't play it. Please don't give them money, even if they're not using it, even if they're just letting it sit there. Don't support this. This doesn't deserve to be supported. If they wanted to remake the whole game from scratch, power to them, but this is not the way to do it. With that being said, I am done here. So if you enjoyed the video, you can leave a like and subscribe. If you didn't, don't. And with all that being said, have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next time.